welcome to the Fast Bowling Cartel podcast. It's Damien Fleming here, and of course, we've got the great man, Jason Gillespie. Diz, what about that? Aussies are 2-0 up in this Ashes series, an emphatic 8-wicket victory, and finished with a little highlight there. How big was that six from Stephen Smith? I think it ended up in the Brisbane CBD.
Yep. I'm not sure I've seen Steve Smith play with such intent, and we saw how much it meant to him, like how much it was riding on it. We saw him, wonderful catches. That catch to dismiss Will Jacks today was nothing short of superb, particularly with Alex Carey keeping up to the stumps.
Yep. And just some talking points as well. Just right at the end there is interesting. Stephen Smith just having a go at Jofra Archer, who was actually sledging him and getting into him a few times. It's all right bowling quick when the game's over. That's what he said to Jofra as he hit him for another six.
Wow, I love that. It was interesting because Jofra, actually, it's the fastest spell of his career in Test cricket was when the game's essentially over. So I'm sure Smudge would have just been giving him a little reminder of that.
Let's go to the positives here for this match. Mitchell Starc, man of the match. Today, though, I thought the Australians, even though they didn't get a wicket in their first in the first session, was bowling partnerships. Neser, Doggett, Boland, Mitchell Starc. I thought they hardly bowled a bad ball. And credit to England. That's the best Test match type batting from Stokes and Jacks that they've done for the whole series.
Yeah, most certainly. And they certainly learnt their lessons from the Australian lower order yesterday, who I thought, led by Mitchell Starc with his 77, but I thought they all applied themselves. Scotty Boland batted time, Brendan Doggett batted time. I thought they were excellent. And England learned a lesson. They showed that they can pivot and they can adjust and adapt their game to situations. And match awareness there. I thought the match awareness yesterday from Australia was absolutely spot on. I suppose, Flemo, if they'd scripted at the start of yesterday exactly how they wanted the day to pan out, it would have been exactly what transpired yesterday.
Which was the criticism of England, knowing that Australia wanted to bowl as late as possible, close to that second break. The field set for Mitchell Starc was so reactive, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like, well, you take the single whenever, and we'll get Boland on strike. But Boland only faced 2 balls and over for a majority of that 90 minutes.
That's right.
So the difference between the two teams is England do have some okay sessions, but it's just whether it's a patience thing or it's that Baz ball that we've got to keep being aggressive and keeping the run rate flying. I don't think they can have that sustained effort to go with this Australian team.
No, I think you're right. I think they were out-strategised for me. Australia pivoted well. They adjusted and adapted to the situation, but I'm not sure England can do that consistently. They showed it today. Stokes and Jacks batted quite nicely. So they actually can do it. Imagine if they'd done that when they were 9 wickets in hand, 100 runs in front in Perth. If they applied some of the lessons and what they did today, we could be in a very different situation.
They would have won Perth. If they batted like that in the second session on day 2 there. And the bowling is scattergun.
Yeah.
I think they need to bring in someone that can at least do a type of what a Boland or a Neser does. And talking about Michael Neser, hasn't played for a few years. All 3 tests have been day-night ones. So he did say, I don't mind bowling with the red ball either. And he's such a lovely man, isn't he? But that was a great fiver. He did not bowl a bad ball today. And that sometimes it looked like he could actually get more than his 5-wicket haul. But backed up ably by Carey up to the stumps and Stephen Smith in the slips.
Yeah, most certainly. And there was a graphic on the TV, Flem, today, which illustrated exactly how effective Michael Neser was. He was around the wicket and to all his deliveries to Stokes, and this was in the lead up to his dismissal. They just had a box on a good length, just outside off stump, and he hit that box every single time. It was on Bowlology 101.
Bowlology gold, baby.
But it was brilliant. And you mentioned the support cast. Obviously, Scotty Boland bowled beautifully, picked up key wickets. Brendan Doggett, I thought, when he wasn't bowling the short ball plan, which they employed for a time, Australia, he was really effective when he pitched the ball up.
Yes.
And obviously Mitchell Starc was just superb.
And for Brendan Doggett, it is hard. He's got into the team bowling fast outswingers with the odd bouncer. He has to play that enforcer role.
Yeah.
So it's tough in your second test having to enforce a plan that you have never really trained for.
Yep.
But he had a go at it and he got rewarded as well.
Yeah, most certainly. And yeah, you're exactly right. But Brendan's just, I actually spoke to him after play. We would just have a chat and ask him how much he's enjoying it. He's just thinking he's living the dream. But he said, yeah, look, I just do whatever the team requires. And if that's fast bowling cartel stuff, isn't it? You just do what your captain says and what the team requires. Brendan Doggett, as Flem mentioned, he's in the team pitching the ball up, swinging it away, but he's been asked to do a job.
Yeah.
And he did it quite effectively.
We're raising the ball to you.
Yeah, we're raising the ball to you, Brendan Doggett.
Doggo.
Doing the donkey work.
You know Alex Carey well. You've coached him.
Yes.
Has he had a better test than that?
I'm not sure he has. That was nothing short of superb. It was basically flawless. I think it changed the game with... he was up to the stumps of Michael Neser. He got rewarded by that Steve Smith catch just by having Alex Carey up to the stumps. And then that catch to dismiss Ben Stokes, that actually deviated. And he was able to catch it in the middle of his hands. I don't think he's had a better game. I mean, I remember Pakistan 2022, he had a flawless display that whole series. But this test match was right up there.
Yeah, I mean, if he was AC/DC, that's his Back in Black. If it's Metallica, that's his Master of Puppets.
Absolutely. Of course, yep. 100%.
Australia in a great position. They've been pretty well captained in the first two test matches, and they're probably Stephen Smith's going to move back to vice captain, and Pat Cummins comes in to captain. But someone's going to have to miss out, aren't they? So it might be a Brendan Doggett or a Michael Neser.
Well, there could be up to 3 changes, Flem. You know, if you count Usman Khawaja, we expect will probably be fit and available for selection. Yep. I think the discussion will be, will Australia want to change that batting order? I'm not sure they will. But certainly Pat Cummins comes back in, and you would expect Nathan Lyon to come back in. So Australia, frighteningly for England, are going to bring in over 800 wickets of experience into the next test match.
Yeah, I think minimum Cummins and Lyon in.
Yep.
And the Khawaja decision is a big one. Because it'll mean if Khawaja doesn't play in Adelaide, I wouldn't play him. I'm happy. Jake Weatherald, even in the second innings there, he just looked really good. And he looks comfortable, doesn't he? And he can take on fast bowling. And I love the rapport between him and Travis Head.
Yes.
You know, they played a lot for Adelaide strikers, but you can see in the running between the wickets, they know each other well, and they can get Australia off to a flyer there. What about England?
England. Well, they show a lot of loyalty, don't they? They've got a lot of faith in. They believe in their blueprint of what they do. I suspect they'll make a change, particularly with the bowling. I'm thinking with their batting, they've really only got Jacob Bethel as a backup,
who's never scored a first-class 100.
And yeah, absolutely. And who would he come in for? That would be the question.
Looks like Pope, but Pope's sort of got 4 starts.
And Pope actually looked probably their best batter in Perth. So he didn't quite have the game he would have liked here. But it'll be interesting to see which way they go. You'd probably expect Bashir to come in. So you'd expect maybe one of the seamers to miss out. I was quite impressed with Josh Tongue in Canberra last week. So I suspect he'll come in at the expense of who? I mean, Bryden Cast was expensive, but much like Brendan Doggett, he was asked to do a specific job for the team, which probably isn't his natural game. But he just kept running in hard. So, look, I'm not sure. But you mentioned someone who can do a Scott Boland type job. Matthew Potts could.
That's the other
seamer. He could fulfil that role. Again, he was impressive in Canberra. He got through over 20 sets, as did Josh Tongue. So he could come into the reckoning for England.
And to finish up, just another word about Mitchell Starc. So I did tweet it out today, or X it out, that we did our top 5 Australian greatest Ashes fast bowlers of all time. And Starkey was about 7 or 8 for me.
Does he go up?
I think he'd be in my top 5. We might have to redo it.
We might have to rejig them.
Isn't it? Because, man, he's looking on, well, I don't know, else if you saw in the papers today, our great mate Rodney Hogg, he's trying to, he's written to the Australian selectors, can you please rest Mitchell Starc for 1 test? Because he doesn't want his record broke. He's 41 wickets at 12. Because Stark's got it lined up, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and the way he's bowling, I mean, he's bowling superb, and you know it was fantastic to chat to him on the pod the other week, and he talked about that his development of the wobble seam ball. It makes his in-swinger more effective.
Which wasn't, the wobble ball didn't move with the 3 millimetres of grass, did it?
No.
But he just showed accuracy and pace still is enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And he hasn't been renowned for accuracy, has he?
No.
It's been more about raw pace and bowling full and swinging the ball. He's shown that at age 35 he can still adjust and develop and improve his game.
Mate, you've had a fantastic test. I've been able to be here. Where's the other bloke? Where's Clint
he's just gone missing.
Where is? Oh, you're not going to believe this.
Oh, my God.
He's over there. We can't see him right now, can we?
Yes, we can.
My God. Someone's got another gig getting paid heaps of money. Who are Glenn McGrath?
Any danger, Pete?
What about the fast bowling cartel?
He's just cashing in, isn't he, Flem? Just leaving his mates.
They're our chair.
We got Gideon and Pete here as well. I mean, it's a podcast fest here, but that is the fast bowling cartel for you, Diz.
Thanks, Flem.
We'll be back soon with a special guest this week as well. Go Aussies.